Welcome to another news round for Valencia. Let's check out the latest news about Valencia. So first up we have Denis Cheryshev. Is he about to leave Valencia? So the club is having some issues right now because their plans about selling players like Maxi Gomez, players like Chilesen, those types of players who they were basically relying on selling and getting enough money. That uh, has basically failed because Chilison, for example, he was diagnosed with COVID-19, and so he's not going to play with his national team, and that means that his price and basically visibility in the transfer market is going to be very low. So if the club were planning on having several good offers for him, say, offers of 16, 18, maybe even 20 million, he has a very good, solid play at the Euros this summer. Then one sell could have netted the club 20 million, and then you sell maybe Maxi Gomez for about 50 million, or maybe you don't even sell Maxi Gomez, maybe you sell Kangin Lee for about 15, 16 million, and there you have it. You have over 30 million euros. You're able to balance the budget, and everything is fine. But since Chilison is not going to the Euros, he's not going to play, and there's been reports and how Maxi Gomez basically doesn't have any sort of interest right now. That means that the club is not going to be able to sell, at least not for good money, of two of the players they were planning on selling. So yeah, Denis Cheryshev is basically one of the players who could leave. He, just like I wrote here in the article, he's not the highest earner in the club, but he's basically somewhere upper middle class, if you will. So he earns quite a bit of money, not in the region of Gaia or Soler or Godes or Chilesen, but he is quite a high earner. So the club is looking at him to basically lower the wage bill and get some money out of his transfer. So yeah, like even a 4 to 5 million euros will be enough, coupled with the reduction in his salary. There's other players who the club is looking to sell, players like Diakabi. I mean, the new coach, doesn't, he's not keen on him. He plans on bringing in reinforcements and selling Diakabi, and I think that's right. I mean, Diakabi has been one of the one of the worst players in our defense. Let's see. Yeah, there's other players that the club is looking to get some money on from the sales of Kang Lee, again Denis Cheryshev, Piccini, Diakabi, in order to get their 30 millions. And of course, if there's an offer, big offer, later on in the summer for Maxi, we could see him leave as well. But for now, I mean, Kanguli is the most valued out of all of these names. He's valued at about 16, 16. Maybe he can go for 80 million. He's a solid young talent. Cherushev, I don't think he can fetch more than 5 million. Piccini, same. about 5 million. The hobby, he's still he's still um, he's still seen in a solid light in France and different regions, so he might actually fetch about 10 million. But yeah, like if Kanye fetches like say 16 million, Cheryshev 5 million, that's 21 million. Piccini 5 million, 26 million. The Akabi say 8 or 10 million, that's over 30 million euros, right? That's about 35 million euros. So with these four players, the club is going to be able to balance the budget for this season. Yeah, there was talk about Joaquin Fernandez, basically, possibly joining Valencia. He plays for Real Valladolid. He's a central defender there. Uh, Valladolid are basically going down a division, and so a lot of their players are going to want to leave. So, I mean, I've barely seen him play. I don't know if he's good or not, but at 3 million euros, probably even less, in a cheap salary, he might be a good option. Another player that our new coach Bordalas wants is Mauro Arambari. So he plays for Getafe as a central midfielder. He's played for over 4 years there, and he's basically established himself as one of their best players there. So Joseph Bordalas wants him from Getafe. I mean, there's been other reports, other options like David Timor and others, but it seems the coach wants this player. Again, he's basically a defensive type midfielder, but his value is 20 million euros. There's been interest about this player. The coach has called him personally to say that he wants him to join Valencia, but again, it's going to be very hard, almost impossible if you ask me to get this player at 20 million euros. That's that's how that's how much he is worth. I mean, if you look at transfer market, he's worth about 20 millions. So that's about right. Again, I don't see Valencia going for this player. Like, doesn't matter how much you know the coach wants him. I just don't see Valencia paying 20 million euros. No way. Even if you were to sell, say, Guedes for 40 million euros, that's there's no way. A good thing is Carlos Soler is called up for the Spanish national team. Yeah, I mean there were several players who tested positive. Sergio Busquets, one of them. So basically, the whole national squad has been quarantined. They even called up the Spain under 21s, which included Hugo. And that match actually finished. Hugo scored, and Spain won. I think it was something like 3-0 or 4-0. Big win for Spain with the under 21s. And again, Hugo scoring. I think it was the first goal for Spain. Yeah, he scored on his first time playing for Spain. he's a he's a central defender and he scores. So good on him. Yeah, increasing his value, increasing his and it's going to be good for the player as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I've already made a video about Jason Murillo and other news. I mean, he's an option as well, Jason Murillo with Joaquin Fernandez. If you sell the Akabi, that can be a decent option. Both cheap central defenders, so that would be good for Valencia. Uh, in Spanish news, I mean, they talk about Gore. He's not Valencia player, but again, the options for for the Mestala. Here Godos talks about the season, the difficult season at Valencia. They talk about Valencia's Twitter account. This is this is basically when our president, when Valencia president Anil Murti announced that he's going to raise the prices of the season tickets if if enough people are allowed to the stadiums. I mean, that's when this started. People obviously not liking that decision, so they've lost a bit of subscribers or followers on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook. Again, and there's been a lot of you know pushback against what he said. I mean, and that they're right. They're right. I mean, you cannot increase season ticket prices in order to recoup money because of COVID-19 and shutdowns and lockdowns and all of that stuff. Like a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are working at lower wages because there's reduction in business. So that's not a good option for Valencia. And even if there's not enough, like even if there's like 5,000 seats, if the season ticket prices are a lot higher, I don't see people buying them. I don't see people just blindly you know paying for very high season ticket prices. So, and again, the club has not been very successful this past few years. The last two seasons have been very bad, very bad for our club. So it's not like there's fans lining up to buy tickets at any price. Even international fans. I mean, judging from the website, it's gone down. Last season it was still okay. It was still okay, but this season, yeah, there's been a significant reduction in fans following Valencia. I mean, that can change. That can change if next season all of a sudden Valencia is competitive and we're fighting for you know Champions League or European League slots. Then yeah, I mean the fans will return. The fans will return. We have some of the most like oldest, most loyal fans for Valencia. I mean, I've been a fan for over 15 years. I mean, most people, in our comment sections, have been fans for at least 10 years. So so yeah, there's a lot of international fans who are really long-term, fans who will return if the club starts playing well, starts playing better. But yeah, that's it for this round of news. Not a lot of news. There's a lot of news, speculations, transfer speculations. Nothing concrete so far. And so yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.